Hey guys, Ryan Steinelson here. It's 2 o'clock on Tuesday, and we're going live for DIY AI, where we're talking about everything that is AI and how it can help your business to grow. We've been doing this for a little bit over a year and a half now, almost 2 years, going live with these workshops. I'm going to keep doing it to get as many people on these calls as possible so that I can help people make heads or tails of this this technology, because it can really make the difference for a business in terms of whether or not they are able to compete in the marketplace, and whether or not they're able to capitalize on efficiencies. I'm going to show you some technologies today, and I apologize. I've got a little bit of I wouldn't even call it a head cold. It's just I've got some allergies going on because of all the pollen in the air down here in South Florida from the pines where we live. We've got a bunch of pines around. It's beautiful. Anyway, but my nose and my head do not like it, and my eyes. But anyway, I am here to help you guys today. I encourage you, if you cannot get on live today, to join us in the future live, because that is the best way for me to help you, to give you insights on how to leverage artificial intelligence to grow your business, to make your business more profitable and more efficient, and just easier to run. I'm going to talk about some amazing technologies from Google, the Google Vision, Agentic Vision, that allows you to take pictures and upload them to Google's AI, their new models, where the agentic models will analyze the visual, the either uploaded image or screenshot that you have, in order to analyze it. It zooms in. It uses agents to really give a much better idea of, for example, like what's in the picture. This technology can be applied in many different ways. And like, for example, we've got bed bug companies that we work with. People can now take a picture of their bed bugs, or what they think are bed bugs, and identify if they've actually got them or not, without having a company go out to the location. I mean, you can find out instantly, exactly what type of bed bugs they are, how bad the infestation is, etc. And it doesn't have to be a close-up shot. So that's just one example. You can use this kind of technology to identify, for example, for permaculture. I also really enjoy food forest and permaculture gardening, and just growing my own food. And one of the things that I built was an app, not only like the one for the mole hunter, where you could just send an app to somebody and they can they can take a picture and they can identify whether or not they've got bed bugs. You can do the same thing with a tree or a shrub, and the AI can identify much more accurately what it is that it's looking at, and give you an identification of it, and identify, for example, with an HVAC company or a plumbing company, like what problem the person is actually having before a human sees it. So you can triage. So you can imagine, I mean, if a plumbing company or an HVAC company use these out in the field, or just put this app on their website, then people could upload pictures and they could identify, or people could be triaged much more easily before a human even gets involved. So people could get service that need it the fastest. So I hope this makes sense. Let me know what questions you have. You can post the questions in the comments below the video. I do have a lot of people that are joining from my YouTube channels and Facebook and X, and then also Instagram as well. Let me see. I did want you guys to know, so why should you listen to me? So I am the founder of Accelerate Marketing, which is a digital agency that's been around for over almost coming up on 20 years. And we help businesses to generate a consistent stream of pre-qualified, pre-sold leads. That's what the Accelerate Marketing does. And I've also created other brands that help businesses to leverage AI. And one of those brands is one called Convertly, which is basically a conversational AI agent. Another one is Agentic Ops. and that is that allows people to use artificial intelligence or leverage artificial intelligence in order to get things done in their business. For example, I've got a mole hunter, a mole company that we just got off the phone with. And what they do is as you'd imagine, they're a pest control company that specializes in mole removal. And what they do is, or what we've done is we've automated their processes. So now the agent is taking the inbound phone calls. Previously, a human was doing that. The second step in their workflow or their operations is that there's a human that typically would identify the square footage of the property by going to either Google Maps or some other tool like property real estate API to identify the square footage of the property. Then they would cross-reference their pricing spreadsheet and their pricing that they have. That's all done now by the AI while the person's on the call. And then finally, the AI will go into field routes, which is what they use as their property man or their CRM, and then it'll create an actual estimate. That estimate then is sent out sent directly via text to the person on the phone for them to sign or okay, and then the AI will schedule a calendar appointment or schedule an appointment for the person to have the work done. So all of that typically took 2 or 3 days. Now it's done in less than 5 minutes, right from the website. And it's really a selling point for them now. And we think that we're going to get a conversion rate that's going to be on par with what humans were getting in terms of the conversions that they were getting with humans doing that. So that's what agentic operations is. And then so we've got the lead conversion, Convertly, which is the conversational AI agent that answers the phone, responds to messages, text messages, emails, etc. And then we've got a lead gen strategy that is LSA Command, and that tool helps people to identify how well their LSA is doing and do a few other things. So let me know what questions you have. You can jump in. I've got a school community as well. That's at DIY AI, it's at school.com. Let me just show you on my screen here. So you can go to school.com/DIY AI. And I do have some topics that I'm going to talk about today if I don't get anybody to jump in. I am also going to talk about what everybody else is talking about, which is OpenClaw. I've had some challenges actually setting it up because I don't want to just use Claude. I want to use other models because it gets really expensive with Claude. It's one of the more expensive models out there. So I'm leveraging something called OpenRouter, and just getting the code right on my OpenClaw has just been a major pain in the butt. So I've got a Mac Mini, and I've also set it up on a VPN. Set up OpenClaw on a VPN, and what OpenClaw is what I've always wanted Gemini and OpenAI or ChatGPT to be, or Claude, or or Anthropic's large language models, is an agent that actually does work for you. It truly will do work for you. It'll get things done. It'll understand who I am, and it actually has a heartbeat, meaning there's something that it does every 30 minutes. It'll create other agents to get work done. You just tell it what you want it to do, and this is where you really need to be careful, obviously, how you set it up or how the agent is set up, because ultimately, if you give it too much access, you just give it a goal and it goes and does it. It's what I wanted ChatGPT to do, to take initiative. That's really what makes it different, is that it takes the initiative. You give it a goal and it figures out how to do it. All you need to do is just give it the API access or the OAuth access, for example, to your YouTube channel, so that it can identify how well you're doing on your YouTube videos. You can actually connect it to Google Anti-Gravity, which I'm going to talk about today briefly as well, in order for the agent to actually use anti-gravity to create apps. And then what you can do is create a anti-gravity OpenClaw in the anti-gravity app. And so you can, there's just so many ways that you can leverage the technology today, now that you've got these other capabilities that are now at your fingertips that were not even there, 2 months ago. I mean, OpenClaw's only been around for about 2 months, which is unbelievable. And it's already got such a huge following. And there's obviously, OpenClaw got purchased by ChatGPT or OpenAI very rapidly. You can also go to our website, by the way, at diyai.ai. You can also text me at 561-861-3238, or text us and let us know what questions you have. And I'm just going to go through, like what it is that I put in the title, which is, how to use Google's new Agentic Vision to build your entire business. And I can show you an example. I mean, I built a few apps, some that work better than others, and I built them with anti-gravity. So this is a little bit meta today, where I'm talking about anti-gravity, and I'm talking also about the vision technology that Google launched about a month ago, that allows Google to analyze photos in a much better way, in a way that makes it crystal clear, what's in the photo. It can analyze exactly what's in the photo and therefore give you much more value. And by the way, if you guys don't know about the school community, here it is. You can see here, there's, I do go live every week on Tuesday at 2. And I'd love to answer any questions that you have. Let me go in here. Oh, sorry, I wasn't sharing my screen here. So there's my screen. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So so here is the school community. This is the DIY AI school community. It's everything that has to do with AI. And here's the calendar. Again, every Tuesday at 2. Members, we're growing, 52 members. We had a really good conversation last week with some people that have online business, and we also, really have a lot of people that are agency owners that ask questions as well. So let me go here. Let me just let me know if there's any questions. Put them in the comments. I'm going to go through because I have this, this kind of head cold. Let me see here. I'm going to go through some of these topics here. Okay. So what most owners are talking about is, what's been going on for a little while is just using large language models in text mode, which is all about just typing prompts and waiting for a sentence. I also would recommend using Whisper. I mean, Whisper or Glido. I mean, they're great. You just press function and then record your audio on your laptop or desktop, and it just posts exactly what you're trying to say. That's one thing that has taken me out of text mode. But that was really the 2024 model of large language models. In 2026, now we've got this agentic vision that I was talking about. So Google has supercharged Gemini 3 Flash with the ability to see and act on your screen in real time. In other words, it's based on what it's seeing on your screen in real time. And then also I'm going to talk a little bit today about the anti-gravity and how powerful it is. It's Google's agent first platform that will allow you to orchestrate multiple AI employees. That basically, it'll allow you to orchestrate everything in one place for your vibe coding, and also browse the web at the same time. We're also going to talk a little bit, like I said, about OpenClaw, which is the local first AI agent that lives on your computer or like a Mac Mini. I would run it separately from anything that you have on your computer, whatever computer you're using most of the time. Not on a walled, not, it basically, what it does, or what it allows you to do, is it allows you to manage your life from either WhatsApp or Telegram or Discord, because you can prompt it right from those platforms when you connect it, which is, man, it's just genius. Like, it's so simple, these concepts, but this is what really makes it different, is that you can interface with it in a much easier, a much more elegant way, by even talking and then having it transcribe what you're talking into Telegram or WhatsApp, and then acting on it. So you can literally vibe code from your phone now. That's the power of it. You can vibe code and communicate with a employee from your phone now. And this is what I would share with everybody, is that I would give OpenClaw its own email, just like you would give an employee, because that's what it is. That's the difference between OpenClaw and the large language models, is that it's got its own personality. It's an agent that's separate. It's just taking the electricity. And that's why I use tools like OpenRouter, because I want to be able to use the right electricity at the right time, so I'm not using too much electricity for the task that I need completed. Why use expensive electricity for something that I don't need expensive electricity for? Like, for example, Claude, Opus, or Anthropic's Opus. I don't need that kind of electricity. I can get cheap electricity and get the same end result. For example, for those, the heartbeat tool that I was telling you about, or functionality of OpenClaw, where it does things every half hour, you don't need Opus to do that. You would use something that is not as expensive to do something that's that frequent, and that doesn't require as much thinking to get something done that's done every half hour. If you want to stop talking to AI and start watching it work, this is what I would suggest that you start leveraging, is something like OpenClaw. Now, there's other options that you can use, like Manus. Now, Manus, which is owned by Meta, Meta bought them out. You can, everybody's scrambling to create this type of technology. It's like the floodgates are open. Now everybody's got the idea. Everybody understands what people want. So now, everybody's going and trying to create what OpenClaw created. So let me go back and see if there's any questions. Man, I've got some amazing sniffles going on here, so I'm not going to stay on too much longer here, but let me know what questions you have. And post those in the, let's see. We got somebody that's joining here. Hey, Reed, how's it going?
Good, Ryan. How are you?
Good. What is going on? It's been a while.
It has been. I'm just trying to tune in. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. I didn't realize you were doing this today, and I just looked at my email and I said, man, I better jump in.
Yeah, no, I've got some allergies going on, so I gotta, it's not. I'm happy to see you. It's not that I'm crying, because I'm so happy.
You're so happy.
Yeah. But
I'm flattered.
Yeah, but I am happy to see you, and it's great that you're joining. And what are you doing with AI?
I'm not doing anything yet, but I'm fascinated by it. But I've been, watching what you're doing, and a good friend of ours, one of their sons is very into AI, and on the same school platform you are. His name is Brennan Wells, Wells.
Okay.
And you should hook up with him sometime and chat. You guys might be able to collaborate.
Yeah. What is so? What's he developing in the AI world? There's so many different avenues. You got people that are vibe coding. You've got people that are, now like what I was just talking about. They're using
his thing on school is called AIN, AI Automation Network.
Okay. So he's automating processes or workflows.
And he, you can take a look. He's kind of got some classes on there, different classes, different ways of 5 different strategies to profit from AI. And then he's kind of looking at a bunch of different things, which you'll understand more about than I. But he's a super nice guy, an incredible polo player. His mother was the coach of all my kids playing polo, and they're national champions, and they're super great people.
Wow.
And he was up in Toronto working for a very wealthy investor up there for the last couple of years, and he just moved back to Maryland, and now he's doing this. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's I think it's one of the reasons why I'm learning it and I'm teaching it is because I want to learn it. I figure the more I can teach it, the more it keeps me engaged with what's going on, and the more I hear what other people are doing.
What he's identified as one of the biggest areas is that there aren't any people that are teaching. There's so many people that want to learn.
Yeah.
He said, that's like one of the biggest opportunities right now. If you can explain how businesses can actually use these agents to do their business for them. I mean, sounds pretty straightforward and easy, but I don't know what the implementation of it really entails. So.
Well, I mean, like I don't know, if you heard the first part of what I was sharing, but I mean,
I literally just logged on like a second ago. So.
Yeah, I mean, 2 years ago, I mean, I started, because one of the number one problem, or one of the problems that I've identified, in the past 20 years of leverage or just helping businesses get online and, generate leads is just their inability to be able to answer the phone. And it's no fault of their own. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. I mean, you can't answer, especially when you're dealing with service-based businesses, Chuck in a truck, like it's tough for Chuck to answer every phone call. I mean, Chuck has got his truck and he's got to do a bunch of other service calls. So
the agents that answer the phone and can answer all the questions, they're absolutely incredible. It's absolutely incredible. We have a plumber that we use, and we had a pipe break the other day, and I called them. It was before their office was open, but the agent handled everything, and unfortunately tried to pass me through to somebody in the office who they weren't open yet, so that didn't happen. But other than that, I mean, they're incredible. You can't tell you're not talking to a real person. It's amazing.
Yeah. So like at least, you were able to talk to, hopefully if, you got some of your questions answered, maybe.
Somebody came right away when they opened. Somebody came right to the house, because they knew. Because of the agent, they knew when they got.
So you were able to schedule
right away. But I just wasn't able to, complete the phone call that the agent tried to provide me. So.
I mean, but that there you go. So there's the reason why is because otherwise you might not have been able to schedule an appointment like that, right?
Not until later, exactly.
Yeah.
So
there you go. I mean, so you were able to be seen and triaged appropriately.
Absolutely.
And that was one of the things that I was talking about. I mean, speaking of triaging, I was talking about this new Agentic Vision that Google's got as part of their Google AI Studio platform that allows you to create apps where people can upload photos of, for example, like if they've got I've got a pest control company that does mole removal. And so we've got this app that we've created for them where somebody can take a picture of the mole infestation, and the agent will take that photo. It doesn't have to be like right on top of the, where the moles are. It could be off in the distance, right. And it can still zoom in enough to identify how fresh the dirt is. So it can identify how many moles are there and give an estimate, send over the estimate while the person's on the call, then send over a document for them to sign electronically while they're on the call, and then book them on the calendar all within 5 minutes when
That's
previously.
awesome.
Yeah. So this is what, when you're talking about, this guy that, you were talking about, like when my company is called Agentic Ops. And so whenever I hear somebody saying like AI automation, that's what I'm thinking of. And I think that he's probably doing the same thing.
He's got, like I said, he's on school.
Okay.
And you can hook up with him.
Yeah.
And he's a very bright young man, and he graduated from UVA. He's a top polo player in the country. He's that incredible kid. Incredible.
Wow. Yeah. I like talking to, there's a lot of people that I follow on YouTube. I've just been having fun just creating apps And it's unbelievable since I started 2 years ago in just creating these conversational AI agents. Now where we're at, where you've got OpenClaw. I'm sure you've probably heard of OpenClaw, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. Now finally we're at a time where the agent can actually go and do things for you, and it
Yes, kind of scary.
yeah,
A little bit,
it is. I know, and that's where I think that I agree with somebody that said it the other day, that I think there needs to be some more awareness. Well, as there is a lot of excitement, because of these new technologies, there's also, I think, needs to be some awareness of what's going to happen, the fallout. They're like, this technology is happening and it's so fast, and we knew this. I mean, 6 months ago, people were talking about like the coming wave. The wave is
yeah, it wasn't really clear kind of like what the potential of this was back even 6 months ago. In my opinion, I just think things have changed so much in the last 3 months, and there's just so much going on.
Yeah,
it's just incredible what these things can do. I mean, it's just amazing. And that's why we're going to get left behind if we don't, participate and learn. So,
right.
And who knows, you could have an army of these things working for you, making you money while you're traveling the world. I mean, really, it's the first time it's like really, really.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, and I'll show you. I mean, I've had some chat. I've set up my. I went out and bought the Mac Mini, immediately.
Yeah.
To host OpenClaw on it, and I've got it on there. And this is what I was talking about earlier, is I'm connected it to OpenRouter so that I'm only using the large language model that I need to get that job done, and not something that's more expensive than I need to use. So OpenRouter routes it matches, is really a better way to say it, is it matches what it is that you're trying to do with the appropriate large language model, so that you're paying the appropriate amount, or only the amount that you need to, as opposed to just using like overkill, like using Anthropic, Opus to do something that you don't need it for. And so you're spending a lot of money when you don't need to,
Right.
So that's one thing that I'm it's not easy. I mean, just setting up there's a lot of people online that are saying, oh, it's so easy to set up the Mac Mini. And inevitably there's things, it is supposed to be theoretically, but when you want to change anything, you got to go into the terminal, and you got to go and you got to go into the JSON code, and in order to make some of these changes. And some of these guys are giving you the code that you need to change, on your OpenClaw, but still it doesn't work, and so that's what we're at right now. So I've got a VPN and I've got a Mac Mini version, and they're working, but they're just not working at the level that.
Do you have to use a VPN when you're?
No, you don't. Oh no, I've got a cloud-based OpenClaw separate from the Mac Mini OpenClaw. I've got two different ones. So I'm testing both versions to see which I like the best.
The other thing that I was curious about is I've seen 2 or 3 or maybe even more standalone AI units that are like, one's looks like a little thing you just plug into the computer.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be AI. I haven't tried any of them, but I'm just wondering if are those things for real or what?
Yeah, you can use Raspberry,
and they're offline. They're like go on the internet to work.
And that's what and you got guys that are purchasing Mac Studios for $10,000 so that they can run the large language model on their Mac Studio, so that they can so they don't have to pay tokens. They're literally running, they're downloading the large language model in essence and putting it on their studio, which is a $10,000 computer, or $20,000 depending on, and then what they're doing is they're running everything locally. So it's not going to be as powerful, obviously, as like, Claude or anything like that, but it's not that much. It's not that much below it. So you have unlimited amount of tokens then. So that's the nice thing, is that's where a lot of these guys are going to, is they're only reserving the most advanced things that they have to do for online Claude-based large language model, solutions, and then they're doing everything else locally, and they're saving a ton of money. That's what a lot of people are starting to do. They're just basically building their own large language model locally, and Llama can do that, I think, and some of the others. But that's really, there's a big explosion of that. But I've got two more topics that I wanted to cover today. What else? Any other questions that you have before I?
No, I'm happy to step out of your
No.
limelight here and let you go on. I'm
No,
gonna have to leave in a couple minutes to go downtown. So
no. I'm glad you joined. I just wanted to, because I wanted to get. I have another meeting in like 15 minutes, but I'm going to go through this and then let me know. So there's one more thing I wanted to cover here in the topics. So
let me
go ahead.
mute it and let you do your thing.
Okay.
Thanks, Ryan. It's great to see you.
Yeah, good seeing you, Reed. And then, so the Agentic Vision, the see and do revolution, like I was saying, recently, Google supercharged the Gemini 3 Flash, like I was talking to Reed about. This allows the AI to not just describe an image, but also navigate a UI, identify geometric constraints, and estimate velocity for real-time task assistance. So AI Studio is actually really easy to use. The only catch, and you can ask AI how to do this, but it's just you got to get your API key. You got to set that up in the beginning. But you can just go to Google, you can type in Google AI Studio, and I can let me just stop here. Let me just share my screen here so I can show you guys again here. There we go. Share screen. There we go. Entire boom. So if you go to Google AI Studio, you'll see it right at the top. And this is what it looks like. Skip. So it's actually, you can see your apps. This is where your apps would show up when you start building apps. And you can see there's a gallery where you can see other apps that people have built. Here's where you get your API key. It's very easy. And create API key. So this is what you got to do to start building apps. It's really easy. You can see your usage. You can see your spend. You can see your projects here. You can create a new project. We can just create this. And then you can just start building, and you can vibe code, by just giving it a prompt. You got to set up billing, but that's really easy. It doesn't take that much time to do. And then before you know it, you're vibe coding. You're just basically giving Google AI Studio a prompt in order to start creating these agents. And in order to really, I'm in the free tier right now, but you can very easily just go, let's see, copy new project. Nope. You don't have to actually, you have to actually go in, and here I can go into another one here. Let me go to Google AI Studio. Okay, this one has projects in it. So here's the bedbug one. Open build. So here's the bedbug one. So basically, if you upload, and I built this just from vibe coding, you can see here's my prompts. It has a full recollection of all the prompts that I used that I gave it in order to get to this point. And you can see you can just add features here, and then here's where you prompt it right in the bottom left. I mean, it's really easy to do, and you can publish it. It's very easy to publish, dismiss. So you can either, and I made this so that I did it. It's called Bedbug Pro ID, and you can go to the gallery upload, or you can either upload from your desktop. Let me see. Do I have any more pictures of bed? Let me see. Yeah. Okay. This is one. Initiate expert scan. So I created this or something similar to this while I was driving, and it was for permaculture. And it was for people to be able to identify the types of trees they have. And you'll notice that the AI is immediately zoomed in on that particular little guy there. And so you can see it doesn't have to be like a real zoomed in shot. AI does the work for you. And here you go. Professional triage result, confidence rating, 98%, status confirmed. Observation evidence, distinct oval flattened body shape. I know nothing about bed bugs. And this is the problem. Most everybody doesn't. And this is the number one question that people have. And it's not cheap to fix if you get them. Reddish brown coloration. This is, not that I know because I've never had them, but I'm just saying, like, this is a real problem. I know this from pest control companies. You can look at the detail here. Expert recommendation, immediate professional inspection recommended, isolate the affected room, infestation estimate low. How many verticals have an application like this? You name it. Plastic surgeons you could use this for to prompt, like you could upload a picture of your face and then upload a prompt, which I've already created one, to have somebody change, what's on their, see the after. Contractors could do the same thing so that people could see the after, of what it is they're wanting to do. So this is Google AI Studio. And then you've got, it looks very complicated, obviously, but it's really not. This is where you put the prompt, and so this is an example of a website that I created in about 2 hours. And I created it all with AI, anti-gravity. And you just prompt it right here. These are the folders. So I've got all these other different projects that I'm doing. Here's the bed bug one. Here's the mole hunter app that I created. Here's the plastic surgeon app. It's all in one folder here. But anyway, that's how simple that is. That's anti-gravity. Anti-gravity is like the big brother of Google AI Studio. And you can take what you've created in Google AI Studio and import it into anti-gravity and really take it to the next level. But AI Studio is great at creating the initial, whatever it is that you're trying to create. It's great at creating the initial version of whatever it is that you're trying to create. So I hope that makes sense. What do you think, Reed?
I think it's amazing.
Yeah, do you see that?
Very cool.
Yeah, so that's what you can do with. Hold on one second. I'm gonna remove this, and then I got one more thing I was going to talk about here today. And if you guys have any questions, you can always go to our website, go to our school community, free school community, skool.com/DIY-AI. You can go to our website, DIYAI.ai. And then I'm going to talk about our last topic here. And OpenClaw, we already talked about it, but it's the first, it's the local first AI agent. So it's like we're talking about, local. It's on your, meaning it's either you're going to have it on a Mac that's local, so you can see everything that it's doing, or you can have it on a VPN. Like I've got mine on Hostinger. And it can either live on your machine in front of you, or it can live on the cloud in the VPN. It combines context from your files and apps to manage your inbox, calendar, check for flights, check apps like and you basically can communicate with it via apps like Telegram or WhatsApp or
really? Huh.
Yeah, Discord. Yep. So you can vibe code right from your phone, which is great. So one of the things that's a challenge is privacy. So, so I said VPS, either a VPS or a laptop, is really the only way to protect your business data while still having 24/7 access to the AI agent, and also having the AI agent have 24 access to do what it needs to do. So, it's an amazing technology. I highly recommend, if you started anywhere, I would potentially start there first, because that is where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. You can vibe code, and that's great. But it's funny. I find a lot of people vibe coding, and they're just vibe coding stuff that just has no use for anybody.
Does it cost money to use vibe code?
Well, it's not. So Google AI Studio, it does cost, but it's not. It's like pennies.
Okay.
Yeah, it really costs. And Aditayax, I don't know. You said, is it really live? I don't know what you're referring to, but yeah, I think that it's minimal compared to the knowledge that you're going to gain, and from actually using it. I mean, so it's like, and it would literally cost pennies to do like that analysis that I just did. It would cost a penny, maybe.
Wow.
If that. It's just super, super inexpensive. And yeah, I mean, you can imagine like business, there's so many use cases for that. And on top of that, to be able to create the app that uses that technology as quickly as you can using anti-gravity or Google AI Studio is just amazing. So that, and then the Claude or OpenClaw, really that technology, I would really spend time learning that. And you can set it up quickly on a VPN. There's a lot of really good videos on YouTube now about how to set up a really quick OpenClaw, and setting it up to do one thing for you, and then going to the next thing, and then going to the next thing. So having it do one thing for you really well, and then moving to whatever the next thing is, like analyzing your videos and giving you a suggestion on, how to improve them, or giving you a daily update in the morning, before you start your day, or posting on Twitter for you, or your social media. You can obviously have it go and do research for you, like go and find businesses that might, that might be a good fit for whatever it is that you're doing. So that's really it. I just wanted to, get on today and give everybody a chance to ask questions. I'm glad you joined, Reed. I've got like 3 more meetings today, and I'm running out of energy with my with this head thing that I got from the pollen. But yeah, good to see you. Definitely join. I'm every week we're doing this at 2:00.
I'm going to be starting a new job shortly, but so I won't be available this time of the day. Too much longer.
What job you starting?
I've been in the cannabis industry for the last 5 years. I was working in our grow operation for a couple of years on the harvest team, and then I ended up in our lab. I was the hydrocarbon extractor, making all kinds of concentrates and stuff. And then I retired in September, and I've gotten kind of bored. But my hip just now is bone on bone, so I got to have hip surgery in the middle of March, and then I'm going to start full time at a new startup grow in south of Baltimore, in between the airport and Baltimore.
Oh, cool.
Which is a lot closer to my house than my old job, which was 75 miles away. I did that for 5 years, and that was a grind. So anyway,
yeah, well,
looking forward to doing this, and I don't know if I'll end up doing it forever, but I'm going to do it for a little while. So
good. Well, good for you, man. Good to see you. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you on again. And if you have any questions, you know where to get a hold of me.
I miss watching you do the old kite videos when you're.
Oh, yeah, remember that?
Oh, that was fantastic. You're something.
That was. I just wanted to see like what people would think.
That was the greatest. That was just so great. I got to tell you. At Swami's and all these other places.
Yes.
My sister lives out there in California, in San Diego, and so her husband has a helicopter, and we flew over all the places that you were showing us online. I said, "Oh, I've seen that before."
That's awesome.
To you. It was pretty cool.
That's
anyway,
awesome.
I've got to run, but I thank you very much, Ryan. Appreciate
All
it.
right.
It's a
Thanks,
pleasure
Reed.
to
All
learn
right.
from you. Thank you.
Thanks, bud. Okay. Yeah. Anybody, you guys have any questions? Go to our website, diyai.ai. You can go to our school community at skool.com/DIYAI. You can also call us at 561-861-3238. And thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you next week. Thanks. Bye.